What's going on, everybody? It's the Bull Show, aka Aiden, and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a game coming up against the Phoenix Suns that could prove to be one of our most difficult challenges of the season, and is definitely a game that I think many people are looking forward to. The brand new look Phoenix Suns, a team that a lot of people have high expectations for. Their offense seems to be, in my opinion, one of the best in the league, just looking at it on paper. However, I still believe the Chicago Bulls have a chance to beat this Phoenix Suns team the way it is currently constructed. Now, by no means am I saying we're the favorites to win. I think if you look at Phoenix and you look at the Bulls, a lot of people don't give the Bulls the chance whatsoever. And I will say this, Phoenix are the most likely team to win that game. They are the favorites. They have the quality. They've beaten us before. They know what it takes to beat this Bulls team. However, that team is currently constructed, it's still very new, and I do give the Bulls a somewhat opportunity and chance to beat this Phoenix Suns team, and I'll explain a little bit why in this video. Before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Bulls Show, turn notifications on, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls and whether or not you give this Bulls team a chance to beat the Phoenix Suns. Now, before I go any further, I would like to give you guys the injury updates for the Bulls and the Phoenix Suns as per usual. The Bulls side of things is fairly, I guess, what is expected. Javonte Green listed as out against the Phoenix Suns. Lonzo Ball listed as out against the Phoenix Suns. There's nothing new to talk about here. There's no real update about those players as of yet. We expect Javonte Green to be coming back very soon, but it won't be against the Phoenix Suns. But you moved to the Phoenix Suns, injury report. You have Landry Shamet that is listed as out for Phoenix. Pretty solid defender. And Terrence Ross, one of my favorite players in the NBA. He's a little bit, in my opinion, I think he's very underrated. He's listed as questionable to play for the Phoenix Suns against the Chicago Bulls. So the injuries, are fairly... Both teams are fairly healthy, let's say. You've got the Phoenix Suns. Chris Paul will be healthy. Devin Booker will be healthy. Kevin Durant will be healthy. DeAndre Ayton will be healthy. Their role players will, for the most part, be very, very healthy. You look at, obviously, the Bulls side of things. Well, you've obviously got Zach that will be healthy. Pat Bev will be healthy. Caruso, Vucevic, everybody from this team that you expect to be healthy will be healthy. So there's no real disadvantage for either team here. Obviously, we don't have Lonzo Ball, but we haven't had him for the whole season. So we kind of know what to expect without Lonzo Ball in the lineup. Now, again, I by no means am saying that Phoenix are going to lose to the Chicago Bulls. And by no means am I saying the Phoenix Suns are not the favorites. They 100% are the favorites. They are the better team. I don't care what anybody says. When you have one person on that team drop the easiest 50 points I've ever seen in a game. Devin Booker's 50-point game was the easiest I've ever seen that the Bulls are allowed to give. Donovan Mitchell, you could talk about him all you want. He had 25 free throws. He dropped 71 points. In my opinion, when I look at that game between the Suns and the Bulls and Devin Booker's 50 points, it was ridiculously easy. So, again, there's so much challenges that will cause us problems, for sure, with us, I guess, walking away with a win here. But I do want to discuss why I feel like we have a chance. Number one, as I've already mentioned in this earlier part of the video, that team is very much still very new to each other. There is a thing called chemistry in the NBA. I know a lot of people saying you can put superstars upon superstars with each other and they can play well together. But I think what you need to understand is that it does take a lot of time for these guys to gel well together. Not everybody can just mash really, really quickly. It's possible. Phoenix won their first game with Kevin Durant against the Charlotte Hornets. Not the greatest example. Again, Charlotte is not necessarily the best team, but you could arguably say neither of the Bulls either. But we don't really know yet if they've really gelled well together so far. Look at the Dallas Mavericks. They traded for Kyrie Irving, and since those two have played together, I think they've only won one game with each other. They're like 1-4 or something like that. You still look at that partnership, you still look at that team and say they could do very well in the playoffs, but at the end of the day, they've not started dramatically well together. Then obviously you turn to maybe other teams like the Lakers with their new team, and they have played well together for the most part. So yeah, I would say that it really just depends on the team and depends on the players, of course, but we don't necessarily know how well Phoenix will gel together. That big offense that we're worried about only dropped 105 points against the Charlotte Hornets. So there's still some work there, in my opinion, for Phoenix to do, and that gives us a chance because our team is fairly the same. Again, we brought in Patrick Beverley, that's fine. Obviously, he makes us better on the defensive end, but for the most part, our team is exactly the same. If continuity is such a big thing for Arturas Karnisovas, Mark Eversley, and his Bulls front office, then you expect continuity to really shine through in this type of game, where that team is still working and trying to gel well together. They traded 3-4 guys for Kevin Durant, and at the end of the day, for the Bulls side of things, we've not got rid of anybody, and we've added someone to this team. So at the end of the day, continuity should help us in this situation. And if we lose this game, that's the first thing I'm going to say. Continuity does not mean anything. But if it has any sort of credibility, we would need to see it against the Phoenix Suns. It's as simple as that in my eyes. So again, them trying to, I guess, get their chemistry together, we might be versing them at the right time, let's say. If we verse them 10 games down the line, yeah, that's a problem for us. I would say that right now. So that's one thing. 2, they traded their best defender. And defense is very, very, very big part of the NBA game. Again, you have to play defense to win a lot of your games. Defense does win championships. I know a lot of people would prioritize offense because it's prettier. It's more fun to watch the offensive side of the game. And at the end of the day, the points tally is usually what people look at in terms of how good or how bad you play. But the Bulls are a top 10 defensive team. I believe so, at least. And Phoenix, they traded their best defender. So, as much as they have offensive kinks to figure out, they may have some defensive kinks to figure out as well. Which, again, comes down to the fact that they are so new together. It might take some time for, let's just say, Kevin Durant to get, I guess, an idea of their defensive schemes and stuff like that. So I would still consider the Chicago Bulls to be, in my opinion, the better defensive team in this game against Phoenix. I'm not sure about our offense. Look, our offense sucks. I'll say it right now. Very, very inconsistent offense. With Phoenix, we're still not sure yet, but looking at their offensive firepower, you expect them to be a high-caliber offensive team. So it really comes down to, in my opinion, if we have a chance, we're going to have to play some very solid defense. And that comes to the next point as well. 3 points here, ladies and gentlemen. The Bulls need to start Patrick Williams in this game. Again, when we versed the Raptors, look, put it this way. When we versed the Raptors, we got bodied. They were too big for us. Their defense was too good. They were too big. They dominated the offensive glass. And it was just an embarrassing game to watch from the Bulls in that department because we all saw it. Our eyes were not deceiving us. We saw the mistakes. We saw our problems. But Billy Donovan just simply didn't see it or didn't want to acknowledge it because maybe there was a lot of other things going well for us, which, again, we lost the game. So clearly that wasn't the case. In this game, Patrick Williams has to be guarding Kevin Durant. If you're going to put Patrick Beverley on Kevin Durant, if you're going to put Alex Caruso on Kevin Durant, I don't care what happens. That will be a mismatch and we will get dominated in that area. Kevin Durant is not someone that you put an undersized player on. You do not put Alex Caruso on Kevin Durant and expect to get away with it. It's like Giannis. Giannis, again, there are certain ways you can defend Giannis. You won't be able to stop him, but there are certain ways you can defend him, team defense and whatnot. Alex Caruso on Giannis, I don't care what anybody says, it's a mismatch. And that's something we should not be allowing one of the top players in the NBA to get. You should never ever have that mismatch. So if Billy Donovan has any credibility as a coach, Patrick Williams has to start this game, and you need to consider playing Derrick Jones Jr. in this game as well to provide some extra length and athleticism to the team, and obviously another person to guard Kevin Durant if Patrick Williams gets into foul trouble. This is a necessity. If we don't see this, I'll be mind blown. Honestly, I think it's unacceptable if we don't see these two things happen. You saw what works against Brooklyn when we played Kevin Durant the first couple of times. That's what we did. Don't go away from the game plan. Yes, Devin Booker's a different problem entirely. Chris Paul's a different problem entirely. But if you want to stop Kevin Durant, not even stop Kevin Durant, if you want to slow Kevin Durant down, if it's even possible, the last thing you do is put Alex Caruso on him or put Patrick Beverley on him. They are too small. Yes, they're gritty, they're tough-minded, they're very, very strong defenders, but they're too small, and in an NBA game, that is going to be a problem for us. So if Billy Donovan makes the right adjustments, it gives us another chance to win this game against Phoenix. And again, it also comes down to how well does Zach LaVine play and DeMar DeRozan play in this game, and Vucevic. The big three also need to have great games for us to win this game. DeAndre Ayton, in my opinion, is a fantastic center. Nikola Vucevic is also a very, very good center. That matchup kind of cancels each other out. Devin Booker's going to get his. We've already seen that, 50 points against the Chicago Bulls. So what's next? Zach LaVine has to somewhat try to keep up with Devin Booker. Last game against Phoenix, because their defense was so compact, incredible. Their defense was incredible. Zach LaVine had a bad game, and I don't even think DeMar played. If he did play, I don't remember anything he did either. So those two have to play well. There's no other exception about it. There really isn't. If you see Zach LaVine drop, let's say 13 points in this game, and DeMar maybe gets his normal 20 points, because I still think one-on-one basis he will score in this game, and Vucevic has his regular 16, that's not good enough. I think all three of these guys have to really try to push to 17 to 20 to a little bit above that points, and the big three needs to share the responsibility with other guys, of course, to play a huge factor. And last but not least, I think the bench of the Chicago Bulls will have a lot to say. Again, I think one thing people are worried about with Phoenix is that their depth has taken a hit now because of the addition of Kevin Durant. So some people may say we have the better bench compared to Phoenix. Well, if that's the case, that has to be put to use. What's the problem with our bench is that it is very young. If we don't start Patrick Williams in this game and he comes off of the bench, well then, ladies and gentlemen, our bench consists of really young Ayo, really young Kobe, and very young Patrick Williams. So they have talent. They're great players. And in my opinion, our bench on paper looks better than the Phoenix Suns. But on paper is not good enough because these guys are inconsistent. And if they show up and decide they don't want to play at their level, Phoenix will have the better bench and they will contribute more from their bench. And that's exactly what happened in the last time out as well. This is not the same Phoenix Suns team as we come to know. We all know that now. Because they made changes, they took a risk, and we'll see if that risk pays off. But that doesn't make them any less scary, and of course, it doesn't make them any less of the favorites. They are 100% the favorites. I think most Bulls fans will come out of this video thinking the Bulls might have a chance, but Phoenix will always be the favorites to win this game, and that's what I want to proceed for you guys. Phoenix are the favorites. I don't want anybody coming into the game reaction saying, I told you so, I can't believe you thought the Bulls would win. I don't think the Bulls are going to win. I'll tell you that right now. But I believe we have a chance. And in the NBA, there's always a chance. And let's hope the Bulls can capitalize on that chance. And I think this game, if we can win it, might be season defining. Because then we've won 4 out of our last 5 games. And there's no one that can dispute how good the Bulls have been over that last 5-game period. Defensively for sure, but even a little bit offensively, which we're still waiting to see on a consistent level. Again, it's a big game for us, and I don't believe that the Bulls only beat good teams. I still think that's a myth, but it would be a nice feeling to beat that Phoenix Suns team. I don't know if we can do it. We also got to mention that the home game as well could be a little bit of an advantage for us. But again, Phoenix are the favorites. Phoenix are expected to win. Phoenix will probably win, but I wouldn't rule us out completely, at least not yet. Let's hope we don't get blown out by 50 in this game. Let's hope that we don't blow a lead in this game either if we have one, because that is where a lot of us are tending towards as well. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. I'll end the video here. Have a wonderful and safe day. I'll see you in the game reaction. Hopefully it's a good one. I'm not expecting it to be a good one, but it is what it is. I'm not counting us out of this game as of yet. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay tuned for more. Take care, and peace.